Let's begin. So, I've been taking medication for my back, but my brain doesn't want to believe in it. Feels like it's not the right problem. So there's something else that must be the solution. Unclear. Standard. Okay. Ah, 7 was so difficult. Difficile. Um... mhm. I don't know how I feel about um the server I've been playing. There's something stuck in my head. And I can't quite pick what is. But it's like, I don't know. I guess I wanted to complete the map to do everything. Before I start over, which is irrelevant, you could just start over any number of times in the middle and then progress forward faster than you would have otherwise, clearly. Not bad. Starting with an easy number, we see 4, 9 equals 1, 4, 9 equals 3. Also simple. There's a lot of 4, 9 in this puzzle, but not all of them are useful. But this is a vertical 1, maybe, but not really. Vertical 3, 5. Very unclear. This is a 6 horizontal. Nice. That's at least something. And then if 8, 2, 8, 2 equals 5, and 9, 2, 9, 2 equals not 9, 2, not 9, also not 9, 2 in same square. I said not 9, 2 in same square. Whatever, you get the idea. Also not 9 equals 4. 1. Nice. 5 horizontal. Hmm. 6 box. And vertical. Eight, 2 is interesting, but not helpful. 4, 9, 4, 9, 2. 9, 2 equals 4, 9, 2 equals not 4, 9, not 9, or 2, not 9, 4, 2. Nice. That's the advanced noise reduction protocols I'm working on. Very helpful. There's only 2 places for 1. And then 4 places on the other side. 8 box versus the other 8, I guess. Mm-hmm. 4, 9, 4, 9, 8. If only it was useful. Even with this, I can't quite see. Well, seven in box must, but where else? Seven, 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 seven. Here's a seven that is forced. I don't know how, but it is forced. So that's good. There we go. Takes off half the options for the other box, which will only help later. 8, 9, 8, 5, 7. Hold on. 8, 8, 5, 8, 5, 7, 8, 7. Oh, that's the same as the opposite of what I just did. And I revealed that. But this doesn't help anything. It's not enough. We don't know which one's outside of the box. We know 7 is in the box, however. And we know 5 has to be maybe one of these. 8 has to be anywhere in the middle. 3 can be anywhere on this side. 5, 4, anywhere in this square. 2, and 1 in only these two places. Trying to see something definitive, and I can't quite get it. For some reason, I want to just look at binary and see if I can get anything that way. Or I should say sudoku. But I've already seen everything sudoku can tell me. We have an 8-6. Let's try 8-6. Then what happens? Forces the other 6, which then forces 1, 2 over here, random, 8, okay, 2 over here because 4, 9, double, 7, 9, 7, 9, 3 equals 7 and 3, or 9 and 3 on that side, 7 on the other. What else does this lead to? My question is that even a good choice for the binary? I don't know, and I actually forgot which binary I popped. Was it 8-6? 8-6, right. Okay. Let's try... God dang it. Let's try 4-9. 8-6 to 4-9 gives me... not a lot, but that's usually a good sign. 8-9, 8-9 makes... not 8, so 5, 7, 9, 7, 9, 4, 3, 8, 9. Just continue this path for a minute. I think we're only down 8-6, and I don't know where the rest it might. I feel like it's weird choosing this as a path system instead of actually doing Sudoku feels like a different process, which is what the system should be promoting, but I'm doing brute force methods that are working. Oh my god, 8-6 seems to be correct. How did I pull that out of? Well, this time we don't have any backtrack and we only have 10 minutes. Let's go to the next one. That was crazy. Let's see what we got here. There are a lot of things. Nothing standing out at the moment. The 2 free is very empty, but that's not a definitive one. There's a lot of this happening. Where 8, oh, there's a 5 there. Straight up 5 box. No guesswork there. No deduction. 9 in only these 2 places is interesting, but obvious. If I were to look for 2 seconds. I'm gonna tilt and go to this and wonder if there's something there. 5-3 is interesting. And then 5-3-6, 3-6. Oh, that's good. It's actually good because then I can't put the 5-3-6 here. It has to be 9. That has to be 7. Yeah. Then if I look in other places, if I consider this, it's like the 9 and the 8 have to be somewhere, and the 2 and the 3 have to be somewhere else. And whatever happens, it has to be that 9 is on this side of the equation, 8 is on this side of the equation, and 2 and 3 take the other position. Whichever one that is unclear to me at this time. But we're only 2 minutes in, so what the hell? I don't have a binary I can pop. I have like that weird 5-6 free trinary I could pop. Technically I could pop the quad, but I don't want to do that. Not entitled enough. Or something. What does 7 tell me? What do I think 7 tell? Oh, 7 box. Easy clap. Let's go. Just random number. Decides it for me. There's another 7. Forces other 7. Final 7. Bro, we just solved 7. That's great. Don't even need to pop. We're just deducing out here. Looking at 5. 5-4 free, 5-4 free equals, it can't be 5-4 free. The other one must be 8, right? 5-4 free, 5-4 free, 8. It's actually not as clear because it could be the 5 and the 8 is alternate with like, so it's like a binary, but it's not quite to quad binary, which is so weird because there's only two states that this can exist when you finally press them in. But like 9 has to be here, that we no. And then we have 1, which could be wherever. 1 could be also here. Checking the vertical. Yeah, 1 would be corresponding with these ones. Not quite seeing it. But I want to look at 2. 2 is, innocuous. Like, there is nothing about 2 that I can see anything. What about 5? Similarly blank information, it seems. Just anywhere and everywhere except for very few places. 8. Similar. Doesn't give me anything. Not on the surface. Why do I have a feeling 8 is also very... Oh, there's a 2. 2 of them. Okay. But again, everything else just... It's too wide. That 1 is very open and just there for the taking. Let's just take that. That's nice. I like having something I can deduce. And then if 8 vertical must, 8 cannot. Let's just say that immediately and call that good noise reduction. I like that. I told you it wasn't on the surface, it was underneath the surface where everything is there except for it must be in this column for this block, so it can't be in that column in a different block. Similar, we have to pause the game. Yep. Don't worry about that. This card's being reassigned. I think genuinely don't think you would have a reason to just keep pinging me. Okay, so what about 9? What about it? I don't know. Right, what about 8? Okay, similar. This 8 can only be in the bottom. That removes this 8, and therefore we only have one place in the box for the 8. That's what the surface is about. God dang it, it was right there. There is no other place that 8 could be. And it's the entirety of the information is telling us that, but I could not see it until just now. Cool. Great. Good. And all that. And then we have 4, 5, 3. If I check the 5s, it looks common enough. There needs to be a 5 on like the bottom of the middle and side. So if 5s on this box are only in here, then you must remove all other 5s from the box. What's wrong with you? Just remove all of those pesky, useless 5s. They're not telling you anything that you can actually use. Good to know. Good to know. That's a lot of noise just gone. It feels like, isn't that nice? I mean, did you see that? I mean, if the 5 can't be here, it must be in this box. And if it can't be anywhere else in the vertical except for on the top in this box, everywhere else is just a false positive. Get it out of here. And then if we think about this column in particular, there is no 5 that remains except for this one. So we have a 5. There you go. That's a ton of information. Technically. Now what? Well, if I consider this one, it doesn't exclude the other one. And if I think of this side over here, similarly, it corresponds to this. We got 2 free, 4, 1, 2 free 8, 8. The 8-1 pair seems interesting. The 4 seems to be somewhere in there. And the 5 seems to be in one of 2 places, obviously. So that's good. But then we have other 2-3 things happening. 239, 239 forces 6. There you go. That's nice. We got 6 right out of there. That forces 6 here. Right? Cool. Then what? Well, the 5-3-5-3 doesn't help us a lot with other things. But if I were to consider the 5 in the lower, it's 5-3-4-8, 5-3-4-8, with the 1-9-3-2 stuff. This box is too open. There's gotta be something. I'm glad for what I've been able to get without binary, but also what else is there now that I'm here? Well, we have 8-3-5, 8-3-5, 8-6-8-6. This is the 9. Oh, that's just a straight up 9 vertical. No question. Cool. Then we have 6 in this column, meaning it must be 8 or 3. 2 free, 2 free 8, 2 free 8, 4 equals 4. Nice. Does that give us anything? Not exactly. Not 2 here, obviously. 2 must be in the column, which means it must be in either one of those boxes. We don't know which one. Two free four, 2 free 4. Oh, just a ton of information here. And then 3-4-3-4-5 and 4-5 and 3. Interesting. But the 5's also here. But the 1's also there. and the ones are only in the top. So that should be something, but it's likely not. What we're gonna pick next. 2, 3. If, for example, this is technically a binary. Let's pop 3. What do we get? Nothing definitive, right? Not a bad choice, but if I were to pop it anywhere else, it would also equally be something, you would think. 6 vertical, 6 cannot, which already is in play. 8 vertical, 8, 3, 2s. We don't know. If 2 on this side, 2 must be on that side, but we also know that. And 2, 3, 8, 3, 6, 8, 3, 8, 6, 3. And then 2 forces, if 2 here, for example, don't know. If I pop this one, where does it lead? It goes somewhere. A little. Oh. God help me if I can remember where I left off or where I started this, but this is a straight up cascade. And if correct, is hilarious. Shh, wrong button. Okay, 3 equals 2 equals 3 equals 2 equals 3 equals 6 equals 8 equals 5 equals 3 equals 5 equals 4 5. Get out of the way. 3 9. Oh my god, did I pick the right one again? And we're just cascading into oblivion. We're done. I can't believe that. Well, under 35 minutes this time. Similar to my previous time, not bad. We didn't do bad on medium. We only took a little bit of time. But the binary was really what put it to under 20 minutes for the hard. I think easy and easy plus was done in a normal time frame, especially easy. I guess it doesn't make much difference. So it's like we're at that point where it's around 30 minutes for the whole thing. But I feel like having to pop a binary feels not as comfortable, though I did do a lot of deductions before I actually went along with that, which felt like I actually was doing something. So I'm not taking it back. I solved this. I'm not going to the next level. We're done. But that was a good little diversion. Um, did you see those patterns that I showed about triplets of numbers? Then they must be there, and you can't have them elsewhere, so remove them from the other positions and stuff like that. Um, basic tool I've been using, so it's been helpful. Um, but in the end, sometimes pick a path is all I can do, and I don't like it because I want my brain to work, and this feels like my brain isn't working when I have to pick a path because I just arbitrarily picked like the correct path. What if I picked the wrong path? What would that actually lead up to? And I end up thinking it was going to add a unknown amount, maybe 2 minutes or more onto the time, but still would have been fast enough. But you gotta wonder if pick a path is for some reason I wonder if pick a path, or as I call it binary, um, is a valid strategy, but it seems to be. I'm just not I'm just not challenged by it. Like it just does the thing, and then you do it, and then you find out where it goes. I mean, there's only two ways it can go, so you just pick one of them, and you're right half the time, or whatever amount of coin flips you want to do. And it's like, I don't feel like a coin flip is a part of actual brain cognition. It's like borrowing a component for context clues of the environment, I guess. But I do love the fact that I did say 8 is there. It's just not immediate, but it was like completely obvious that it had to have been where I found it because everything else led to that. And that is just so, like, of course, like, it doesn't always work that way. How would I even know that it's findable, you know? That's not a solved problem. It's either you find it or you also have binary or you solve something else that then leads to the conclusion that it's this. But instead, it was like, no, it just goes here and you got it. But how did you intuit 8? Like the 8 that I found here at whatever point in time that was like, oh yeah, it has to be there. There's no other choice. And it's like, that feels like I pulled it out and noticed it before my actions and my own, like, acknowledging how it happens. But it's like, oh, it's not, it's there, it's too open, but it's also all like just under the surface. You can see it if you remove the noise. And it's like, yeah, there it happened. And it's like, how did I come up with that sentence? Right? People say like, oh, you have these things and whatever else, and it all leads into whatever else, and then it leads to, if everything is understood, then everything can be predicted, meaning predictions of the future in short term, long term, or everything, if you do have all the fundamental parts, is essentially possible. Well, in a game, yeah, you can do stuff like that, but I'm talking about like the subconscious cognition, knowing things before I know them, so that somehow I'm saying something about like 8 that's like, I haven't actually analyzed 8 personally myself to know that it's under the surface, to know that it was like, oh yeah, the vertical has to be here. It couldn't have been here. It wasn't allowed. So because there's this 8 here, so then you have to put it here. So then you have to put it here. And then after that, there was other things that made it so that it had to be there. And it's like, oh my God, that's so, and the one was just so blatant. And it's like, I like deduction a lot more because I actually feel like I'm finding something. Pick a path is just feels lazy to me. Tell me in the comments if you think pick a path is lazy and if I should never use it again, because I'm tempted to never use it again. And if I can't solve without pick a path, does that make it a good or a bad puzzle? And I don't know. Or am I just good or bad as a player that I have to use pick a path in order to find it? That being said, if I do pick a path and I do get it right or wrong, I still end up learning the answers. Um, so like, I don't know. And with pick a path, you go on down these rabbit holes where all the path is like, oh, it's a cascade. It ends up chaining a bunch of numbers and then a little bit of analyzation, and then you have more chains. And from that pick a path, you end up solving the entire puzzle like I just did. And it's like, okay, so I can solve it